Well, what a phenomenal win for Lahore Qalandars, them winning their third title of the HBL PSL. And happy faces all round, lots of jubilation, and why not? This was not an easy chase by any means. 201 is what Quetta Gladiators made, and Lahore Qalandars won this with the 6 wickets to spare. And this tells you a story. The reaction tells you a story. Sikandar Raza, the man of the moment, really pulling it through for Lahore Qalandars. The families are behind them with all the support. Remember, it was an absolute jam-packed house here in Gaddafi Stadium. What a performance by them. That last over, what a game as well. You know, we spoke about how we need such a match in the HBL PSL, and that's exactly what we saw today. Fireworks all round. Like I said, happy faces and a lot of love. That's what we saw overall. They performed like a family. That's what we spoke about from all of them, that they felt like they're one family, and that's what we saw from them as well. That momentum of winning 3 back-to-back games for Lahore Qalandars certainly worked in their favor, because they were absolutely magnificent in that chase. The hero, the man of the moment for them once again, Sikandar Raza, literally just flew in yesterday. The way he performed, it really does tell you what it means to his side as well. Look at that. Shaheen Shah Afridi lifting the trophy once again for the 3rd time in the history of the HBL PSL, and doing it so in Lahore itself. So fairy tale ending for Lahore Qalandars. This is how things went in this particular match. Quetta Gladiators must be feeling comfortable with that 201 for 9 in their 20 overs. Hassan Nawaz at the top. He's been quite prolific for them, scoring 76 in just 43 balls, and contributions from that middle order. But in the end, Qalandars managed to seal it thanks to that wonderful knock by Pereira, Kusal Pereira, making 62 in just 31 balls. Mohammad Naeem, he's been quite the find of the HBL PSL, scoring runs. Remember, we saw him bowl that over as well, so he's got a lot of potential there. But like I said, it was that 22 not out of just 7 balls, a cameo that eventually sealed it for Lahore Qalandars. Qalandars winning comfortably in the end by 6 wickets. Hello and welcome to Pitside. A huge congratulations to Lahore Qalandars once again. They won their 3rd title. And what a game we've had in the HBL PSL. Talking about a thriller, that's exactly what we need. You know, it went right down to the wire. There was lots of drama, twists and turns, and that's what you need in a final. So, but in the end, you saw that Lahore were the team that were on the better end of things. And why not? To talk us through, we've got a very, very special guest with us here in the studio, alongside the legend himself, Wasim Akram, and Sikandar Raza. Sikandar, a huge congratulations to you. I mean, I think, firstly, tell us about these last 24 hours in your life.
Tell us about your trip.
Yes.
So, Wasim, day 1 of the test match, I bowled 25 overs from lunch to the new ball. Okay. Then day 2 we batted, day 3 I batted for about 30 odd overs. Then when the game finished, I got a call from Sameen Bhai saying that there's a flight from Birmingham, and I said, are you sure? He said, yes, if you're available, we want you here. Then Shaheen called me separately. He said, I've already booked the flight, just get yourself to Birmingham from Nottingham. All I had the time was to pick up everything I had in my room, just throw in my bags. I rang my friend, drove for an hour and a half to Birmingham, then flew, got ourselves to Dubai, then drove for an hour and a half to Abu Dhabi, then flew to Lahore at 10 to 7, and by the time 10 to 7 tonight evening, and then by the time yes, wow, and then by the time I got changed and everything, it was 20 past 7, and I made it for the national anthem, and that's the story.
Wow, that's an exceptional journey. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great win. The champions, the worthy champions of season 10, Lahore Qalandars. So yeah, how do you cope with that sort of travel and mindset? How important was your mind while you were doing this?
So, Wasim bhai, it is no secret that physically I was exhausted. Yeah. The only thing that was working for me was just the mental strength. When I put my mind to it that I'm going to represent Lahore in a final, and the team wants me, I think that gave me that extra push that my team wants me. And I said to them, listen, you have done well without me. You have won 3 back-to-back games. you show you want me, and everybody, and I mean everybody from the players and the management side, yes, we're not playing this without you, so get on no flight. So when the team respect you and love you that much, and you feel the warmth from them and they want you, then you know it was an easy decision.
Asking, how old are you now?
39, Wasim bhai.
So he's 39. He travelled whole day, played a test match, then travelled from Nottingham to Birmingham, then to Dubai, then to Abu Dhabi, then waited there for 6 hours, then took a flight here, arrived here 20 minutes before the game, before the toss. He got he got into the ground, did the national anthem with the team, and then eventually he's sitting here. If anywhere 25 you will complain from here onwards about that he's stiff or he's tired, just look at him and look in the mirror afterwards.
Absolutely, you know,
inspiration.
Speaks volumes of his fitness and character as well. The kind of commitment that you have to be traveling all the way and then performing the way you did. Let's talk about the cricket then. That last over was, like I said, it was high octane, high energy, lots of drama. What were you thinking?
No, I think, before last over, the game was finished the over before, in my opinion. What were you thinking when the last over came?
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah. So Kusal had a very good 19th over. I remember we needing 31 in two, and before the over started, I remember Amir bowled 2 good balls and we couldn't get an early boundary. He got a boundary of the first ball, then a one. So all we said that even if it gets to 15, all we have to make sure is try and get 14 to 16 in this over, and we back ourselves to win the game. And Kusal ended up pulling it really nicely, and then all we needed was, 14, 15 of the last over. So we achieved our target. I thought Wasim bhai from the ball one, maybe thanks to Test cricket, I could see the ball. I could see the ball a bit better.
You batted for 30 overs.
Something like that. So I could see the ball. The first ball that I faced, I said to myself, I could see it. I can pick the length early, and that was that. My first ball went for 4, the second ball went for 6, the third ball was a dot, but I could see it. So I think for me the key was that I could see a ball, and then I wasn't thinking anything. I was basically blank. Okay. All I was saying to myself, just watch the ball and let your instincts take over.
Brilliant.
It's interesting because, you know, there is that talk when you're preparing for a game and you suddenly land in the situation that we saw you in. Does it work as an advantage at times that you're not overthinking stuff? Because when you have, you know, sometimes you overcomplicate things as well. But just in terms of the pressure, you know, it's a knockout game. It's a must-win game. Just the mindset and the psychological aspect is what I'm talking about. The fact that you didn't really have much time to think about things. Did that work in your favor at all?
All I would say is I don't like to lie to myself. I accept the fact that there is pressure. I think once you accept it, then your mind copes with it a lot better. I do not believe when some of the coaches might say to you, oh, it's just another game. It's just not another game. It's a final. You don't get many chances to play in a final. So accept the reality, accept what's in offer, accept what's on the table, and then your mind cope with all those things a lot better. So I think psychologically, when I was thinking, when I was traveling, I was thinking about this game, and I knew it's a big game. All I was asking for, if Allah has got me to this stage, then may Allah help us to win the game, and that's all I had. And in my mind, I was continuously preparing the ballers I'm going to face and the areas I'm going to take. And by the time I got to the game, I was just blank.
Well, it certainly helped with your blank mind because you played an absolutely amazing innings. At halftime, when you looked at the scoreboard and it was like, oh, you need to chase over 200 runs, I mean, what was the team talk then? Because batting conditions, but let's not forget, it's a final. So, you know, what was a team talk then? Funny
you asked that because Shaheen asked me to have a team chat in the huddle. Shaheen said, Sikandar bhai, you have few words. And all I said to was, boys, we have bowled on this track. There is no turn, there is not much spin. It is actually a very good batting track. And in my opinion, if we bat to our ability, this game will finish an over before. This is just the pass score. I don't think so. They have batted out the game, and that's all I said.
And I thought that over by skipper Shaheen Afridi, where he got a couple of wickets, 17th over or something, that probably changed the game. They probably could have gone to 220, 225.
Yeah, then it would have been, then they would have batted us out the game. So when they got to 201, I thought this is just the pass score, boys, and we could genuinely chase it in 19 overs. And that was my message in the team huddle.
Yeah.
All right, so just celebration plans then. I mean, what are the celebration plans?
26 cups of tea.
Lots of sleep?
Yeah.
No, I think I like to sleep in the plane. One thing I can tell you is that I've missed my flight. I was meant to take a 3 a.m. flight, and I said there's no way this body's getting onto that plane.
No, you're not getting on
I'm not getting onto that plane, so I'm going to celebrate with the boys. There's another flight at 9 a.m., but that means I have to spend 23 hours in Dubai. but I'd rather spend those 23 hours with the boys and take tomorrow 3 a.m. flight where I do not have a lot of transit in Dubai, and then I could get home day after tomorrow by 5 p.m.
All right, I think you've done a lot of talking as well for the day. You've certainly played really well on the field, but off the field as well. I know you must be really exhausted, so just want to thank you for taking out the time and coming on pitchside. But good luck for all your future endeavours, wherever you're involved, and you were absolutely magnificent today. Sikandar Raza really sort of gave it his all. The way he came in, travelling all the way from different countries and getting here and then really winning it for Lahore Qalandars really speaks volumes of the character and commitment that he has as an athlete. On that note, we'll take a short break on pitchside and we'll be back with a lot more, so don't go anywhere.
I think the best moment so far from the PSL has been James Vincent's century when Karachi Kings chased that mammoth 240 odd.
It was Abdullah Shafiq's batting because it had everything: class, quality, it had big sixes, it had rolling shots, and there was purpose behind that innings, and he looked so graceful and so calm.
For me, the best moment has to be discovering somebody like Mohammad Naeem. We've seen his failures at the start, but then he was able to sort of really come forward and score some runs.
263, the best and the highest first innings total in the history of the HBL PSL by the Quetta Gladiators. Riley Rousseau with 100.
And Hassan Nawaz, their partnership, their double centuries in that game in Rawalpindi, it was fantastic to watch.
It was very crucial for him to click, to win the game and also reach his 100. So I think altogether it was the ultimate pressure situation and he delivered rightly.
My best moment in HBL PSL Season 10 comes down to one bowler from this end, Mohamed Wasim Jr., reverse swing, Van der Dusen, good night.
I think it has to be when we resume part 2 of the tournament. What a vibe, what a feeling in the crowd. The excitement to have cricket back after that 10-day delay was just amazing. So, Bahut Shukriya for having me back. I think that atmosphere was just incredible.
My moment of the HBL PSL was match number 28 when Nawaz hit that 6 of the last ball of the game to win the match, and I went into a baseball call. I said it was a home run, and that's what happened. Walk-off home run as far as I'm concerned. 6 runs and he walked off and celebrated with his teammates.
Salman Mirza being very successful along with Sahibzada Farhan, both coming after topping the national T20 and doing great stuff in the domestic cricket.
Ubaid Shah getting a wicket, Usman Khan wicketkeeper, celebration right on the head.
This year, I thought Ali Raza was superb. He gets that extra bounce, good pace, and he's one for the future.
इस एनर्जी से उन्होंने बॉलिंग की है, जिस समझदारी से उन्होंने बॉलिंग की है, तो इस पीएसएल का मेरे नज़दीक जो मोमेंट्स है वो अली रज़ा की बॉलिंग है.
Hassan was dropped thrice and he was destined to win that game. And after that game, Hassan became a different player.
मास सदाकत ने जो इनिंग्स खेली थी, जिस एतमाद के साथ ग्रीन टॉप पिच पर गद्दाफी स्टेडियम की, मेरा ख्याल है कि वो सबसे काबिल-ए-दीद लम्हा था मेरे लिए इस HBL PSL का.
So many different moments to rejoice for all of us, and the key moments that we thought were the highlights of this HBL PSL, but certainly Lahore Qalandars lifting the trophy for the Lahore fans was the highlight today. A huge congratulations once again to them. So much to celebrate and so much to talk about, because we've now been joined by Ramiz Raja as well on pitchside.
Hello.
Ravo, what a game for Lahore Qalandars. जिस तरह से मैच एक टाइम पे लग रहा था कि जी क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स के हाथ में है, रिक्वायर्ड रन रेट कोई 17-18 पे पहुंच चुका था, लेकिन फिर भी जीत गए.
बहुत बड़ी जीत है. एक तो पहले ये इसलिए कि हाउसफुल, आपका टेम्परामेंट, आपकी स्किल सब टेस्ट हो रही थी अंडर प्रेशर. बॉलिंग बुरी नहीं है. मोहम्मद आमिर जो हैं उन्होंने सेकंड लास्ट ओवर करना था, उनके पास एक्सपीरियंस है, और फिर उसके बाद फिर जो हमला हुआ है वो आउटस्टैंडिंग था. यानी कि एक तरह से क्या कहना चाहिए, हार्ट रेसिंग थ्रिलर कह लें आप इसको. क्राउड्स की वजह से भी जज्बा था मैं समझता हूँ, और ये एक परफेक्ट फाइनल था. हम वेट कर रहे थे ऐसे मैच का. कोई 1.25 महीना वेट कराया इन्होंने, मगर हमें मिल गया जो हमें चाहिए था।
अच्छा, इनकी बैटिंग की भी, जिस तरह सिकंदर रजा की तो कंट्रीब्यूशन की बात की, बट टॉप ऑर्डर जिस तरह से परफॉर्म करता रहा है थ्रू आउट दी HBL PSL, चाहे अब्दुल्ला शफीक हो जाएं, चाहे फ़खर जमान हो जाएं या मोहम्मद नईम हो जाएं, they have been so good throughout the tournament.
और आई थिंक ऑल्सो इन्होंने सबसे ज़्यादा छक्के इस PSL में लाहौर कलंदर्स ने मारे हैं, लाइक क्वाइट अ बिट, काफ़ी ज़्यादा, आई थिंक 20-22 ज़्यादा हैं बाकी टीमों से, तो दैट्स ऑल्सो अ प्लस। बट अगेन कांग्रेचुलेशन लाहौर, द वे दे प्लेड। सिकंदर ने अपनी जर्नी बताई है, आज 6:45 बजे तो पहुंचा है वो शाम को यहाँ, थ्रू 3 डिफरेंट कंट्रीज, थ्रू फ्लाइट्स, इकोनॉमी, एंड देन वी आस्क्ड हिम कि भाई माइंडसेट, कह रहे मैं ब्लैंक हो गया था, थक गया था, ब्लैंक हो गया था, ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं गेम के बारे में। सो मैंने केम आउट टू बैट, आई वाज काइंड ऑफ ब्लैंक, लेट इंस्टिंक्ट जो है मेरी, लेट देम टेक ओवर, और वो एग्जैक्टली द वे दे बैटेड। सो या 200 रन चेस करा, बड़े आसानी से चेस किया। एक स्टेज पे आया था मैच फंस गया था, 70 चाहिए था जब, 17-55 ओवर्स, एंड दे हैड 7 विकेट्स इन हैंड। बट उसके बाद परेरा, मैंने कहा है, कोई मेरी गाल सुने थे फिर है ना, कहा है कमेंट्री में, उर्दू में भी और हिंदी इंग्लिश में भी, कि भाई इससे बचना, बट नहीं, कोई बात मानते नहीं हमारी।
चलें, आप सब मान गए होंगे, आप सब मान गए होंगे।
Too late for that now.
आप सब मान गए होंगे, बिकॉज क्या परफॉर्मेंस थी पेरेरा की, उस पर तो हम जरूर आएंगे, बट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द रिफ्रेशिंग मोमेंट्स ऑफ द डे, एंड दैट फीचर्स ऑफ कोर्स द विनिंग मोमेंट इटसेल्फ।
हाँ, टाइम पे चौका, इससे पहले छक्का लाजवाब था, फिर उसके बाद चौका और सेलिब्रेशन शुरू हो गई। और ये मोमेंट जो है ये चेरिश करने वाला है, क्योंकि ये पार्ट ऑफ दिस ग्लोरी एक्चुअली, और ये बड़ी स्टेज बनती है हीरो बनने के लिए मेरे ख्याल से। और सिकंदर जो है वो एक अल्टीमेट हीरो बने हैं, इसलिए कि जैसे अभी पता चला कि इतना ट्रैवल करने के बाद और कंप्लीटली एक तरह से स्विच्ड ऑन भी थे, रिलैक्स्ड थे और स्विच्ड ऑन थे। ये बड़ा लीथल कॉम्बिनेशन होता है, वे यू रिलैक्स्ड एंड यू फोकस्ड।
या और बिल्कुल वो अपने मुकद्दर का खुद सिकंदर बने भाई। अब रात के 1:30 बजे यही निकलेंगे मेरे सी आवाजें।
अच्छा, हमेशा से एक चीज़ नज़र आती है वैज़ के, बॉलिंग टीम्स जो स्ट्रॉन्ग होती हैं वो PSL में, HBL PSL में ट्रेडिशनली बहुत अच्छा किया। अभी जो लाहौर कलंदर्स की परफॉर्मेंस है, एक तो सलमान मिर्ज़ा की हमने देखा कि पूरे मैचेस में एक सॉर्ट ऑफ बहुत अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस थी। इवन शाहीन एज अ स्किपर द लास्ट फ्यू गेम्स ही सीम्स टू हैव रियली पिक्ड अप। बीच में लग रहा था कि शायद उनकी फॉर्म नहीं है, इन पिछले 3-4 मैचेस में ही इज़ रियली लिफ्टेड हिमसेल्फ।
इट्स अ लॉन्ग टूर्नामेंट, हर टीम ने 10-10 मैच खेलने हैं, फिर क्वालिफाई करना है। सो या एट टाइम बॉलर से जोर नहीं लगता, लगाता है बट वो बॉडी साथ नहीं दे रही होती। बट मौके पे शाहीन ने तीनों मैचों में क्या ज़बरदस्त एलिमिनेटर्स, तीनों में, फाइनल में 2 एलिमिनेटर्स और फाइनल में लेट फ्रॉम द फ्रंट, वो आपको नज़र आ जाता है। जब सिचुएशन आती है, नया बॉल से विकेट लेता है, जब मिड में आना हो, जब विकेट की ज़रूरत हो, एक ओवर करता है आके, पूरा जान लगाता है। इसीलिए 3 दफ़ा ये चैम्पियन बने हैं, बिकॉज उनका जो लीडर है, ही लीड्स फ्रॉम द फ्रंट। वो पूरा एक कहने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती प्लेयरों को, व्हेन यू सी योर लीडर इज इन्वॉल्व्ड।
ठीक है, लीडर तो इन्वॉल्व होता ही है, बट ऑब्वियसली यू गोना टॉक अबाउट द मैन ऑफ द मोमेंट हु रियली सेट अप द गेम, बिकॉज लाइक वी डिस्कस्ड, एक टाइम लग रहा था कि शायद क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स के पास वापस मोमेंटम चला गया है, but the middle order of Lahore Qalandars came through at the right time, which is why we've got player of the match as Pereira.
बहुत ही अच्छी बैटिंग की। एक तो पहले तो ये देखना है, स्पिन के अगेंस्ट भी लाजवाब थे, और ये कि टेम्परामेंटली स्ट्रांग है। देखिए, इन्होंने जो एक टेस्ट मैच में इनिंग्स खेली हुई है, वो हिस्ट्री बताती है कि शायद वन ऑफ द टॉप इनिंग्स में कंसिडर होती है। 150 किया था इन्होंने साउथ अफ्रीका के अगेंस्ट, 1 विकेट से जीत गया था साउथ अफ्रीका में टेस्ट मैच श्रीलंका। और मौके के ऊपर बहुत ही बेहतरीन इम्प्रोवाइजेशन और टेम्परामेंटली स्ट्रांग, और क्या ग्रेट सिलेक्शन है। ये बाद में आए हैं, टूर्नामेंट में पहले नहीं पिक हुए थे,
बाद में आए। और
जी, बाद में आए, ये एक अच्छा पॉइंट उन्होंने बताया कि बाद में आके परफॉर्म कर।
बेबी राजापक्षा भी कैसे पिक किया कि ये फॉर्म में थे, ये खेल रहे थे, सो बड़ा काम करना पड़ा फ्रेंचाइजी को जो ब्रेक आया दरमियान में एक हफ्ते का। सो वेल डन द वे दे पिक्ड अप। उन्होंने वही लड़के पिक किए, राजापक्षा एक्सपीरियंस, परेरा जो सब कॉन्टिनेंट बिट्टों का जिनको आइडिया है। विकेट क्रेडिट टू द ग्राउंडमैन एंड द ग्राउंड स्टाफ, जबरदस्त पिचेस बनाई हैं मस्त से, स्पेशली ये नॉकआउट्स में।
अच्छा, मोहम्मद नईम बड़े अच्छा एक सरप्राइज रहे हैं कलंदर्स की तरफ से। शुरू में अगर आप उनके मैचेस देखे जाएं तो काफी फेलियर्स थे, उनसे नहीं रन स्कोर हो रहे थे और इनफैक्ट डिस्कशन चल रही थी कि शायद इनको इस वाले एक मैच में एक आध में रेस्ट मिल जाए, किसी और को ट्राई कर लें, शफीक से ओपन कर लें फखर के साथ, बट कलंदर्स स्टक टू हिम and you know eventually it came off well because he started scoring runs और बहुत consistently एंड में परफॉर्म किया।
जी, इसलिए कि फ्रस्ट्रेशन बढ़ रही थी, मुझे भी ऐसा लग रहा था कि ये वन नॉक हिट हैं, क्योंकि जितना चांस लेते हैं ये, मुझे आगे चल के लगता है कि अगर इनको कंसिस्टेंसी या कंसिस्टेंट बनना है तो थोड़ी अपनी गेम को टेपर करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि पोटेंशियल तो है मगर वो पोटेंशियल 10 रन का नहीं होना चाहिए, वो पोटेंशियल होना चाहिए आपको 50 रन का, क्योंकि आप ओपन करते हैं, आपके पास सारी फील्ड मौजूद है, ओवर्स आपके पास हैं, बड़ी शॉट्स लगाते हैं, इनको सिंगल्स निकालने हैं, इनको थोड़ा सा और कंसिस्टेंट होना है। मेरे ख्याल से इनका जो ब्लूप्रिंट है वो हसन नवाज होने चाहिए, क्योंकि हसन नवाज में जो मैच्योरिटी इस टूर्नामेंट में देखी है वो मैंने न्यूजीलैंड में नहीं देखी थी फॉर एग्जांपल। हालांकि वो 2-3 महीने पहले वहाँ पे जाके खेले थे, वो भी लग रहे थे कि वन डायमेंशनल है, हिट मारेंगे, मगर नईम जो है ये इनमें पोटेंशियल है, ऑफ स्पिन बॉलिंग अच्छी कर लेते हैं, बड़ी हिट्स लगाते हैं और अगर कंसिस्टेंट हो जाते हैं तो पाकिस्तान को एक बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त ये एक आर्टिकल मिल सकते हैं।
Absolutely. Talking about Mohammad Naeem and his six hitting ability, Pakistan is always looking for players that have that power hitting ability and the ability to hit a lot of sixes, and we got to see some monstrous hits from him in this HBL PSL. A time to revisit some of his sixes for today.
जी, शॉट बड़ी ज़बरदस्त मारते हैं, मिड शॉट बॉल पे तैयार रहते हैं और लेग साइड डोमिनेंट प्लेयर लगते हैं अभी तक जो हमने नोट किया इनको। जैसे रमीज ने कहा कि टैलेंट है, नो डाउट। अब यहाँ से अगला स्टेप मैंने कैसा करना है एज ए क्रिकेटर, इसके बाद टाइम है, नो डाउट। ये देखिए ज़बरदस्त शॉट, बड़े बड़े छक्के और जान है इनकी कलाइयों में, जैसे पता लगता है खड़े खड़े जब मारते हैं निकलते नहीं।
Also a good sort of result in the end for somebody like Abdullah Shafiq, because when you talk about Abdullah Shafiq, उनकी भी यही बात चल रही थी कि जी फॉर्म नहीं है और यू नो बड़े जब वो आए थे तो टेक्निकली सॉलिड कंसिडर किए जाते थे, बट गुड टू सी दैट ही इज स्कोरिंग सम रन्स एंड ही लुक्ड लाइक ही इज गेनिंग कॉन्फिडेंस। रमीज,
इनको भी देखिए, इनकी गेम का इनको आइडिया पहले तो होना चाहिए। ये इतने बड़े इम्प्रोवाइजर नहीं है, ये नॉर्मल ओरिजिनल बैटिंग करते हैं और सिंगल्स अच्छी निकाली, और जब फॉर्म में होते हैं तो फिर ये हर शॉट खेलते हैं, फिर छक्के भी लगाते हैं, चौके भी मारते हैं। सो थोड़ा सा इनका बिलीफ का जो फैक्टर है ना वो और बढ़ना है, और जितना खेलेंगे उतना इनमें कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा। आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल इस टूर्नामेंट की सबसे स्मूथ इनिंग्स खेले थे जब इन्होंने 60-65 किया था 30 बॉलों में, दो एक मैच पहले, इसलिए कि उसमें हर चीज़ दिखी थी। एक कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ अ नॉक, सिचुएशन को रीड करना, किस तरह से अटैक करना है, पक्की शॉट्स लगाई इन्होंने। सो ये कई दफ़ा टुकड़ों में खेलते हैं और इसलिए टेक्निकली कई दफ़ा फंस जाते हैं। जब इनका सिंक्रोनाइज्ड एक मूवमेंट होती है ना कि सारी चीज़ें फॉरवर्ड एक ही गो में है, बैक फुट एक ही गो में है, तो तब ये कंप्लीट बैट्समैन दिखते हैं। सो इनको वर्क यही करना है रिदम के ऊपर, अपने सिंक्रोनाइज्ड बैटिंग के ऊपर, और स्कोर का फिक्र ना करें। मुझे ऐसे लगता है इनके जो एक सीरीज ऑफ लो स्कोर्स होता है ना, इससे इनका कॉन्फिडेंस डेंट हो जाता है। तो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं कि सीरीज 10-5, 10-12, 15-16 फिर 100, ऐसे नहीं होता। आजकल आपको थोड़ी सी और कंसिस्टेंसी दिखानी है।
एक और चीज़ जो लाहौर कलंदर्स की, यू नो वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट देयर सिलेक्शन, जब उन्होंने टीम सिलेक्ट की, रिशाद हुसैन का होना, यू नो लेग स्पिनर के होने से हमने देखा है कि हर टीम को रिगार्डलेस ऑफ द कंडीशंस एक एज मिलती है। उनकी भी परफॉर्मेंस थ्रू आउट द टूर्नामेंट अच्छी
जी बिल्कुल। अब देखें कराची को देख ले, उनके पास एक मिस्ट्री स्पिनर नहीं था, ना लेग स्पिनर रखा था उन्होंने, जाहिद को खिलाया नहीं, खिलाया वही 5th पार्ट टाइम बॉलर्स जो थे वो खिलाए, 5वां बॉलर। बट लाहौर इस तरह की चीज़ें करता है। शुरू में ये हारे तो इनको काफ़ी इनका मजाक उड़ा सोशल मीडिया पे, अब 3 दफ़ा चैंपियन बन गए। हु इज़ लाफिंग नाउ? दे आर, एंड दे मस्ट बी डूइंग समथिंग राइट। अब ये जो मुझे पता लगा है, शाहीन अफरीदी खेला था जाके BPL, लास्ट ईयर, वहाँ ही प्लेड फॉर द सेम टीम जहाँ रिशाद खेल रहा था, ही बोल्ड वेल देयर, सो उसके जेन में था। सो ये बड़ा ज़रूरी होता है कोई पाकिस्तानी जाए, लड़का बाहर खेले, प्लेयर देखे, अगर वो कैसे यंग प्लेयर, जिसका कई दफ़ा नहीं पता था आपको दूसरे मुल्कों के यंग प्लेयर्स का, तो अगर लीगे खेलने जा रहे हो तो देख के आओ, सुते ना रहो उत्थे जाके, और आके बताओ अपने टीम के मैनेजर को, कोच को, ओनर्स को कि ये लड़के आगे उस अच्छे हैं, please keep an eye on them.
No, that's actually a very good point because that we have seen that around the world के जब वो एक दूसरे के साथ खेलते हैं तो सजेशन जब चाहिए होती है कि अपनी टीम में किसको रखें, तो ऐसी सजेशंस भी आती हैं जो कि हमने आज देखी रिशाद हुसैन का, जैसे वाज ने एग्जांपल दिया। फील्डिंग जनरली कैचिंग hasn't been that great in this HBL PSL, lots of dropped catches as well, but we've seen in between some really good ones. आज का देखते हैं कि आज का catch कौन सा था which was the most important one. Safe hands for today, please.
लो जी, हम भी देखते हैं। अच्छा, ये मेरे ख्याल में अविष्का ने कैच किया था और बहुत ही अच्छा कैच था, प्रेशर कैच था, थोड़ा सा लेट रिएक्ट किया था, लो कैच और इम्पोर्टेंट विकेट थी। मोहम्मद नईम का कैच था, उस वक्त ये फेंटी लगा रहे थे।
बिल्कुल, और ज़ैनब ने बड़े प्यार से कहा कि बहुत कम कैचेस छूटे, 96 कैच छूटे ने 96 और 97 छूटे ना सोनी।
वैसे ये क्यों है, एक सिंपल सवाल।
ये हमारे
डीएनए में,
हाँ, नेचुरल डीएनए, हम एफर्टलेस हैं कैच छोड़ने में,
नहीं
मेहनत नहीं करते हैं।
मैं रिटायर हुए मुझे 21 साल हो गए, तब से चीखे मार रहा हूँ, तब से जब भी टीवी पे बैट बोल के गले खराब हो गए ने, गले पै गए ने कि बैटिंग में आपको टैलेंट चाहिए, बॉलिंग में टैलेंट चाहिए, फील्डिंग आपको करने से आएगी, जितनी आप रोज करेंगे वो फिटनेस के साथ होगी, फिटनेस होगी तो फील्डिंग होगी, अपने आप फील्डिंग इंप्रूव नहीं होगी। सो ये तो हम क्या कह के, मैं भी बूढ़ा, लिटरली आधी टांगे तो नीचे हैं। सो हम कल्चर वही है हमारा।
बात ना करवाए,
दुखी नहीं, सच्ची बात नहीं, मगर तंग आ जाता, अब क्रिटिसाइज भी नहीं कहते हैं करो उनको, बिकॉज वो अब 96 कैच, मेरा मतलब है वो बच्चे थोड़ी ना खेल रहे हैं,
बहुत ज्यादा है वैसे,
या
कुछ ज्यादा ही है।
चलें कुछ ज्यादा है, लेकिन एंड में कलंदर्स जीत गए, तो मेरा ख्याल है कलंदर्स के फैंस तो बहुत खुश होंगे, एटलीस्ट वो तो खुश होंगे। तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर थॉट्स gentlemen once again.
Thank you.
Please, and was always a pleasure to have you guys on pitchside, and a huge congratulations once again to Lahore Qalandars. We'll be taking a short breather and really having a closer look at the game and where did Quetta Gladiators go wrong, all of that on the other side.
Low full toss, drilled down the ground, hits it hard, really fine catch. Looking for another one, hasn't got all of it. Oh, and it's a great catch. Oh, he's chipped it. He hasn't hit that, he's just played it straight down. Oh, what job well done, Tom Curran.
Absolutely outstanding from the big man. Oh, brilliant. Oh my word, that is absolutely stunning behind the stumps.
There's an edge, and what a catch. That is a magnificent grab. Powered and taken. What a catch from South Shakil.
Short ball, slow ball, fielder there, and yes! Great event goes! The skipper takes the catch, Shadab from Islamabad United.
Now, is that going to be the end? And he takes a stunner! Salman Mirza, what a day he's had!
Oh, what a catch! What
It's a brilliant catch. The skipper has taken a blinder. He's not the tallest, but that is a magnificent grab in the covers.
Yeah, there might have been a few drops that went down right throughout the season, but certainly some sensational efforts in the field over the past couple of months. We've been doing the HBL PSL 10. Hello and welcome back to Pitch Side. Erin Holland here alongside Mike Hazeman and 𝐅𝐍𝐀𝐋 Khan on the graveyard shift, gentlemen. But we still have so much more to unpack across what was an incredible final match and, of course, a wonderful season. 𝐅𝐍𝐀, your prediction, did it come right in the end? It did not?
Yeah. I think I said Lahore, didn't I? I don't know, lots of people ask me, so I'm a little confused, but they saved the best for last. I think we've not seen a lot of close games in this HBL PSL, but tonight's game really ebbed and flowed, and until the very last over, you thought one side, the other side, and then Lahore Qalandars just made it happen. It was fabulous, and just with the cheer of the crowd, the full house, it was a spectacle to watch.
Oh, it certainly was a spectacle, and what a fitting end to what has been a season of so many ebbs and flows of momentum in all aspects, to be totally honest. And Mike Hazeman, you've been with us from the very beginning in another HBL PSL. In terms of the drama coming all the way down to the final, where did this one rank for you?
Well, I mean, it is quite remarkable to think, if you look at the last three finals, I mean, two have been one off the last ball and tonight one off the second last ball. I mean, it's just unbelievable, these finals. I mean, they're just getting closer and closer and closer. And I think this was quite remarkable in the fact that there were so many runs that were needed in the last 3 overs. I mean, still 47 runs in the last 3 overs, but it was 71, I think, in the last 5 overs. Yeah. I mean, I'd almost, when I sat down behind the microphone for the last 5 overs, I'd almost thought it's a bridge too far. But gee, it was just extraordinary the way they played, and some terrific batting from Pereira in particular. I thought he was outstanding, and of course Sikandar Raza, who I'm sure must have been asleep on his feet out there after all the travelling he'd been doing. The way that he played was superb, but remarkable stuff. It just gets better and better. It really does.
That partnership between Pereira and Rajapaksa for a little while there, 𝐅𝐻𝐻𝐻, it definitely felt like Quetta had it in the bag. They'd really restricted them through the middle overs. They'd taken important wickets at important times, made breakthroughs, put the squeeze on, and all of a sudden, yeah, a little bit of dew came in, but what did you see was the big, massive change of momentum that really swung things back in Lahore's favour?
I think you have to look at Aamir's over, but 5 overs for 71, and Sikandar comes out swinging, but we almost forget the innings that Kaushal Pereira played. He was fabulous, and he was getting them up to the rate, and once you thought it was sort of getting to that stage where it's beyond Qalandars, it was actually Pereira who wrestled that back. Yes, Sikandar Raza played magnificently, and those 7 deliveries that he faced, but power hitting to the fore, and they had no answers with death bowling. I think they really were Wasim Jr., because he's one of the bowlers who get that reverse swing and Yorkers in, and they're probably banking a lot on Aamir's over, and Aamir travelled the distance, and then there was no stopping Lahore Qalandars.
How much do you buy into the whole peaking at the right moment rhetoric? They won 7 in a row, Hazy, to be well clear top of the table, won their first qualifier, bought themselves a few days off, but so often you actually see that going against the side that's done all the hard work, because they have that break and that break in momentum. You
do see that happen quite a lot. I mean, I thought they probably needed that. The win was important to them because they had some injuries. Chandamal was injured, had another injury as well, so I think that was they needed to get over a couple of concerns and injury stakes. So I thought it was actually ideal for them, but you're right. I mean, sides that play 3 games in 4 days often do actually end up going all the way through, and it was quite remarkable because Lahore were just disastrous in the field in the first final they played. I mean, we tallied 40 runs they gave away through unforced errors. And then all these collisions today. I mean, that was just unbelievable. These collisions in the field, and the injuries and left, right and centre. So, and to get up and actually, I mean, we hear now that broken shoulder in the change room as well, and all sorts of stuff going down. To get up under those sort of conditions is circumstance, I should say, was quite remarkable.
I was right down there on the boundary actually when it happened, and it
were
was
they calling nurse?
Oh, I mean, I'd be absolutely useless to them, that's for sure. But he was really distressed. He obviously tried to carry on, and that broken shoulder, which Samin Bhai actually said to me in that flash interview at the end, he actually sustained, and he would have potentially been incredibly important, 𝐅𝐻𝐻𝐻, in terms of power hitting and getting those runs at the death. But you know, it was Kusal Pereira and Sikandar Raza that did the damage. But honestly, what an incredible chase that was by Qalandars.
Yeah, the players that they brought in, look, Rajapaksha, who didn't, well, he played all right today, but it was Pereira and Sikandar Raza. But the players that they invested or brought back after the break, they've been massive, because both Pereira and Rajapaksha play spin very well. And Pereira coming in the middle order, he's so dynamic in terms of being able to play square both sides of the wicket. He's got a reverse sweep, he's very good through the point and plays over extra cover, and he's got the power. So the picks that they made, we talk about Lahore Qalandars being a momentum side or a side with a lot of passion, but you actually look at the picks that they've made and the roles that they defined. Shaheen Shah Afridi in the previous game talked about how Abdullah Shafiq has been given a particular role in a run chase or setting up a total, that he has to be the glue. And it is not just about them going out there and hitting the ball and trying and hoping for the best. There's actual structure to it. Yes, today they fell behind a little bit, but they still had a little structure to how they were going to chase it down. It went down to the wire, and they produced some massive hits and put the opposition under so much pressure. I reckon the 12th man, the Lahore crowd, had an effect as well, because everything then sort of was conspiring against Quetta Gladiators. But it is so Lahore Qalandars to pull it out of the bag in the big stage, in the big final, in front of their home crowd. This is where they play their best cricket.
Yeah, 201 on the board with some fairly large scoreboard pressure in a final, and a lot of that came down to some sensational hitting from the youngster, the player of the tournament, Hassan Nawaz. Let's take a little look at some of his boundaries again now.
He's impressed me all the way through. I thought when he steered them home a couple of games ago was outstanding as well, but the way he played superbly today was really great to see. 76 of 43, 8 4s and 4 6s, and he's got so much power, and his bat swing through the ball is quite remarkable when he goes straight down the ground. And I just think he's 22 years of age. I think he's quite exceptional. We've got to watch this guy very closely for a long time.
Yeah, what a wonderful award, player of the tournament as well, Bazid. How much do you think he has a future in playing for Pakistan, and what impressed you about the season that he put together?
Well, the innings against Islamabad United, where he got them through with a tail-ender at the other end. Last over, yes, there were a few catches dropped, but after that, he's actually become very mature, and he's actually looked the part. Even today, he was very comfortable in his innings, and he sort of backed himself throughout. So I think even more than the 100 or the way that he played in New Zealand, I think he's become even better player. So I reckon he's evolving every day. The great part about this HBL PSL is that we've got two emerging batters. Very rarely have we had in the HBL PSL emerging batters who've done well, and two emerging batters who've hit 51 sixes, which is amazing. Hassan Nawaz 28 and Naeem 23. And normally you talk about the HBL PSL, you talk about fast bowling. Even with the emerging players, it's normally the bowlers that are coming through. But this time around, the emerging players, the two that have really taken the tournament by storm, are batters, which is heartening for Pakistan.
Oh, so exciting. And we often talk about the beautiful pace of so many of these young tearaway quicks that we see from Pakistan. But to get some of the young batters stepping up and really taking the tournament to the fore and putting their hand up for national selection is really exciting times. Of course, that tour against Bangladesh coming up right after this HBL PSL. But, you know, Quetta Gladiators, they won the toss. They elected to bat first. They wanted to put some scoreboard pressure on the board, and they posted 201 for almost the loss of all of their wickets. Let's relive exactly how that first innings went now, shall we?
Yeah, this first one down the leg side. It's a bit contentious, but Shaheen Shah Afridi was in a good spell. But Lahore Qalandars caught really well. That was dramatic from Haris Rauf. And then this was fabulous from Shaheen Shah Afridi, diving away and plucking it out. It was hit extremely hard. Rishad Hussain was struck for 2 sixes, then came back with this. Shaheen Shah Afridi again underneath and very calm. But I thought Shaheen Shah Afridi bowled extremely well. Probably the best he saved for the last for himself in the tournament. And he ran in and tried to bowl the Yorker, bowled those back of length deliveries too. This was another good catch, safe catch. And every time that the ball went in the air, it was caught. Haris Rauf getting rid of Amir. And then this one just popped up. It's slightly poor shot from Abrar because he could have just rotated the strike over. This was the final delivery and another decent catch from Mohammad Naeem at the fence.
Yeah, perhaps sort of 10:30, they're almost left begging from the Quetta Gladiators there, Mike Hazeman. It seemed like they kind of had a bit of a capitulation at the back end there, lost wickets in clumps at the very back end and really slowed that momentum. What do you think would have been enough out there today, given how beautiful the batting conditions were?
I thought the 200 would have been a good score batting first in the final. I really didn't think that was the case. As it turned out, it wasn't. I didn't think they were going to get to 200, I must say. I thought at one stage they were going to end up around about the 185 mark and we're going to be about 15 runs shy. And if it wasn't for the 23 runs off the last over, that was what got them to that past the 200 mark just. So clearly, obviously, a few more than that was obviously the go. But I mean, just on that point, I mean, I think we just need to actually pay respects to the ground staff, the job that they've done here with these pitches. I mean, they're unbelievable. We know that there were 11 games played here before we came back for the playoffs, 11 games played here in 11 days. And those tracks are pretty good. I mean, some of them were a little bit fresh early in that 11-day stretch. But when we've come back, I mean, to get on these tracks after that and play the playoffs on these sort of tracks, the batsmen in particular must have been delighted with that. And I thought that the ground staff have just been terrific with the work they've done. Yeah. I mean, 220 obviously would have been a number which they perhaps talked about at one stage because they did fall in a hole. There's no doubt about that. And even was Nawaz even lost his shape quite a bit, and he struggled along for a while. And he wasn't hitting as fluently as he was just before, just after he got to his run. So. Yeah, 220 would have been the ideal scenario, I suppose, but anything around 220 is good in the final.
It still came down to the wire, though, didn't it? 13 needed off the final over. Whatever happened was absolutely going to be the turning point. And let's relive exactly what happened now.
So here's the scramble, and it was Raza and Pereira who were the guys that were getting the runs, and they needed obviously get a couple of boundaries. That was brilliant fielding, by the way. It was outstanding work to save 2 runs, and they talked about the fact they needed to get a couple of sixes. That's what they needed, and Sikandar Raza was swinging from the hip at this stage, and his runs were just so invaluable, and then that hard 6 and then that 4 was what got them home, and then these big celebrations, which ended up some terrific shots from our cameramen as they came off the park.
Oh, that final over had absolutely everything, didn't it? The drama, the action, the excitement of HBL PSL came right down to the wire. Which way did you see it going, Baz? Were you surprised at all that they managed to get the job done?
You're always thinking that Lahore Qalandars are going to do something. I didn't expect them to actually pull it off in the end, but always felt that in a final in a final at Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore Qalandars are not going to go down easy, and it took something special. But I always felt that out of the 2 sides in a final, yes, you look at the 2 sides, they're very well balanced. There's nothing to pick from them. But just because of the fact that they're playing in Lahore and it is their home city and all the crowd are behind them, there had to be some little twist at the end, and it was deserving because I keep repeating myself that we've not had a lot of close games. So for a final to go down to the wire was absolute, well, what do you call it? Absolute cinema.
We were talking in the combox, by the way. We were saying that 16 we thought was going to be a pretty close game. I mean, 16 was going to be pretty much on the wire. And Wasim was saying that 16, he thought the bowling side maybe should get up and win that one. Anything below that, it was going to be heading more towards the batting side. And when it got down to 13, we got off the last. He was quite convinced that they were going to get up at that stage. And that fielding, as it turned out, on the boundary line didn't make any difference. It was a magnificent fielding, but Sikandar Raza had other ideas.
Oh, we love to save the best till last, don't we? What a thriller it was to end off to one last short break here for the final time in HBL PSL 10 in pitchside. But don't go anywhere. Find out what we loved the most about our season trip to Pakistan, us commentators. We'll see you all in a few short moments.
I haven't been to Pakistan since 2005. One of my main regrets in my cricketing career, I never played a test match or played any cricket in Pakistan. So coming back here the last week has been absolutely superb. Hospitality has been brilliant. Everyone has been so friendly. Standard cricket has been absolutely superb. I've loved it and I'd love to come back.
It's about my 7th or 8th time coming to Pakistan, and I've had a lot of experience commentating in Pakistan Super League. This year has been nothing different. Hospitality, the cricket, going all around, experiencing some of the best cricket, but also the golf.
My experience in Pakistan this year, it's been fantastic. I love it. The people here are so hospitable. I've had a great time. My first time doing a big commentary stint like this. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope to be back again next year.
Oh, I always just get the biggest smile on my face when I talk about Pakistan. This truly is like a second home for me. I love coming back and going to hang out with all of my friends and my family again, as I call them, going to explore all of the cities more and more every season. It's my 6th trip to Pakistan, and I hope there's still many, many, many more to come. I truly am ready for my passport. Where is my passport? I'm a local now, come on.
Oh, warms my heart, I tell you what. It's been an incredible season of HBL PSL. Hazy, we didn't get to hear your favourite moments in that little section. What's it been like being back for yet another season? You're a regular here in the comp.
No, it's been wonderful. I mean, I've really enjoyed it again. I mean, I always consider when I come to Pakistan always a little bit of an adventure, and there's always some new people to meet and some new places to see and new experiences, and I've just loved it again. It's been great, and nice to have a group of good colleagues to work with. That's been nice, and I think the cricket's been terrific as well. The breakfast meetings that we've had have been interesting to say the least. Most of them have been recorded, so some of you should be worried about there, I must say. But it's been great. Really enjoyed it.
We don't ever see you at breakfast, Buzzard, but have you liked having us back in your in your backyard for another couple of months?
Yeah, it's been fabulous. The company's not been something to write home about, but yeah. But yeah. Every HBL PSL, we're not letting Hazy go yet. He'll still sort of sticking around, but every HBL PSL is an event, and hopefully next year we might even have a new team. We might even have a new venue. So
I'm hearing the whispers.
Yeah, it get bigger. Teams. Yeah, it get bigger and better, and even more so. And it's actually HBL PSL which played a big part in getting cricket back to Pakistan. So it always will be in the hearts of every Pakistani or every follower of cricket that it played such a massive part to get Pakistan cricket going back at home, and that will always be one star which will never go away from HBL PSL.
I know that was one of the things that drew me here back in 2019, my first season of HBL PSL, and of course the first time we came back for the finals in Karachi after all of those years. And the thing that always really impressed me was the incredible talent that maybe I wasn't already seeing as a stalwart in the playing 11 of the Pakistan national side. And it unearths all of this brand new talent, and we're seeing in this series about to start against Bangladesh, Hazy, which you'll be a part of in the commentary panel, a lot of these youngsters and a lot of these guys who've put their hands up and earned themselves a position in the national side. How exciting is this as a springboard to national honours for them, and I guess what are you expecting in the upcoming series?
I think it's very exciting, and as Baz said, I mean, it's not often you see these batsmen coming forward, and now you've got these terrific young batsmen, 22, 23-year-old batsmen coming forward, and one or two of them have already represented Pakistan a bit, but now they can really stake a claim and play consistently. I mean, there are clearly some spots up for grab, the way the selectors are currently thinking. Yeah, I think that's just exciting that there's batsmen coming forward as well rather than just the ball. Every year we come back to Pakistan, there's bowlers left, right and centre. We see them breaking through and doing a wonderful job, and some get injured, some fall by the wayside, some sort of break through and perform for a long, long time. And that's wonderful news for Pakistan. But to see the batsmen come through as well is, I think, great news.
And off the back of this HBL PSL form, Baz, who are you looking forward to seeing flourish against Bangladesh?
I think, again, just the batters you could look at Hassan Nawaz, you look at Sahibzada Farhan, how they'll play now at international. I'm very interested at what position Hassan Nawaz, if he plays, what position he bats. So that'll be interesting. And the way that Mike Hassan will be able to mold these players and how they will actually approach T20 cricket. So lots of things to look forward to. The only thing that I probably miss is the quest pass that won't be provided. Aaron, you should leave a few for me for the season. 3 matches, so about 8 to 9 quest bars, no?
I'll leave you a couple of snacks. Actually, I do have a few I can leave behind. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a long night, but well worth the effort from all parts here. What an incredible season of HBL PSL 10 it has been. It all came down to the wire. It all ended in an absolute bang. Congratulations to Lahore Qalandars, 3 times winner of HBL PSL. Cannot wait to be back again next season. Bahut shukriya for joining us, and we will see you next season, gentlemen. What a game, what a night. That's it from us here. We'll see you next year.
Call me king of the street. ऐसा कभी देखा ना flow. मेरी game मेरा है show. आगे आना पीछे से वार कर. मैं खेला तो टीम तैयार कर. आजा तेरी life बना दूं. फिर से अपना गाना सुना दूं. रोज मचा शोर आज कुछ होना है.
Outstanding stuff from Mohammad Rizwan.
रात भर जाग आज नहीं सोना है.
Straight into his hands.
रोज मचा शोर आज कुछ होना है. रात भर जाग आज नहीं सोना है. कल की फिक्र में इस पल को नहीं खोना है. आज फिर हो जाने दो जो भी होना है. दमादम मस्त देखो आज मेरा एक्स देखो. ऐसी मेरी वाइब देखो कैसा मेरा फ्लेक्स देखो. दमादम मस्त देखो आज मेरा एक्स.
A century of the highest order.
Take it away, bro. X देख मेरा flex देख, only king stand next to me. Ball डाल बेटा बोल कम कौन कितने पानी में है show me. शहर शहर वो ही शोर, गली या ग्राउंड लड़के मारे जोर. आ गया भाई अब वापस तो खेल तो जमेगा ना मेरे दोस्त. कोई नहीं है टक्कर का अभी भी सबको है खबर ये बात नहीं छुपी. ये खेल है जश्न हमारा और जश्न में होते हैं साथ हम सभी. उड़ेगी गिल्ली अब तेरी नहीं मिलेगी माफी.
Bowl him, cross the line and loses the stance. He's been hustled.
हल्के में लेके तू गलती करेगा. वी रन अप और तू खुद ही डरेगा. अंदर वो 32 छेपे देंगे 36. दमादम मस्त अब तेरे जैसे घर भेजेंगे.
Rahim has finished with a 5-wicket haul.
मारे सिक्सर बोले वहीं देख. दमादम मस्त देखो आज मेरा एक्स देखो. ऐसी मेरी वाइब देखो कैसा मेरा फ्लेक्स देखो. दमादम मस्त देखो आज मेरा एक्स देखो. ऐसी मेरी वाइब देखो कैसा मेरा फ्लेक्स देखो. मिलके बन नू मैक्स करो ना कलियां कलियां फ्लेक्स करो. यही सोच के आ गया मैं सारी दुनिया कहती है. ओ किंग ऑफ बंगड़ा एक ही है. सारी पब्लिक नू ऑन बोर्ड करके धमाल सारी रात पावांगे. सारी पब्लिक नू ऑन बोर्ड करके धमाल सारी रात पावांगे. दगड़ 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 ढोल बजदा आज कप्तान का स्वैग. रोज नचदा दगड़ 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 ढोल बजदा आज कप्तान का स्वैग. रोज नचदा. दमादम मस्त देखो आज मेरा एक्स देखो. ऐसी मेरी वाइब देखो कैसा मेरा फ्लेक्स देखो. दमादम मस्त देखो
title for Lahore in 4 years. What a game this has been.